Okay, well, hello and welcome back. Everybody online, thanks for joining us today. Everybody in person, thanks for coming last minute. Sorry about the late notice cancellation. I was not here for that, so I didn't know that happened. But we're back, we're here, and we have a really fun class planned. It's kind of an accumulation of everything we've done so far in this session. With that, I think we need the blocks for a little bit, but if you don't have blocks at home, feel free to grab anything. You could use a water bottle. You don't even need blocks if you don't want to. Just kind of imagine them there for the movements that we will be doing. With that being said, if there are any movements that you find difficult or you cannot do, please make your own modifications. Do everything at your own pace. Today is slow and in control, mind to muscle connection. So let's focus on getting the movement, activating the muscles before we're trying to rush through everything. I know sometimes it can be painful and you escape into the little pain cave, and I do that too. But when you turn off your muscles, you turn off your activation, and then you're putting too much pressure on your joints, and that's why you're getting sore and hurting in all the wrong ways tomorrow. I want you to go on the website and sign up for classes next session, so don't hurt yourself this time around. Today will be the last class of this session. We will be having 2-week break after this, and then we'll be back on the 23rd for our next and maybe final session. We'll get to that when we get there. But let's go ahead and start on our knees. If the knees are painful for you, feel free to drop down onto your glutes. But this time around, we're going to be elevated on our knees. So if you can and you're willing, feel free to just lift up a little bit through the glutes there. And we're just going to lift our arms up and overhead, expand through the chest. If you have a watch, don't forget to start it. Deep breath in. Reach through the fingertips, find that length. Exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Feeling this in your shoulder blades. Looking for mobility through your back. You might feel this a little bit more in your lats and your traps. That's okay. Pay attention to what muscles you're activating right now. Looking for that length, finding your breath. Pay attention to what your breathing feels like in the current moment. This is about getting the muscle activation before the actual workout in today's class. Deep breaths in. Inhale for length. And exhale for release. Go ahead and do this 2 more times. Really reach, bracing through the core, lifting through the stomach. 1 more time, we're going to lift up, keeping our hands above us here. Alternate, bringing one arm back and push forward. Other arm now, reach back, pull through the lat. You should feel this right underneath your shoulder. And push back up. Lower, push, lower, push. May be helpful for you by grabbing the blocks or any sort of weight, something that you can grab hold of, and try practicing that way as well. Adds a little bit more resistance, helping you feel your muscles a little bit better. Just remember, slow and in control. We're going to press that last arm up, bringing both arms back now. Squeeze your elbows together and push both up. Still engaging through the core. Staying lifted, use your breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, flex. Little bit of a burn through that back here. 1 more time, pulling both arms in. Try to sit up a little bit straighter. Feel that length through the top of your head to the ceiling. And we're going to bring our elbows in together, finding that 90. Should be feeling this a little bit more in your chest, a little bit more in your shoulders, stretching throughout your back. Use that breath. Go as slow as you need to. You should feel your muscle activate the entire time. Go ahead and do about 2 more. Last one, squeezing in, opening your arms up. Go ahead and let your arms fall straight, and we're just gonna do little circles here. Wake up those shoulders. Find that mobility. And switch directions. Deep breath in. Stop. Go ahead and bring your arms out in front of you. Lower your arms down just a little bit and lift. Front raises. You should be pulling from your back all the way up. Lift through the core. Deep breath. Really feeling the burn for your arms. Almost done. One more. Last one. We're going to tilt our palms to the ceiling and we're going to pull our arms back. Go to the side, open, squeeze your back, and lift. Back to the front, reach forward, pull elbows in, bicep curl, twist out, and push. It's a little bit complicated of a movement, so if you need more time, do this at your own pace. Just make sure you're activating your muscles the entire time, focusing on that breathing, quality over quantity. Go ahead and do this one more time, the full sequence. This time we're going to keep our arms extended out, tilt those palms back to the floor, reach behind you. Forward, almost trying to touch your pinkies together, really squeezing that back, feel the burn. Almost done. Two more. Last one, go ahead and keep your pinkies together. We're just gonna pulse here. Feeling this more in your triceps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and walk your hands out in front of you. Give your back a nice stretch. Finding that child's pose or that puppy pose. Slowly trying to get your chest all the way to the ground. Deep breath in. Taking this time to bring awareness to all four corners of your body. You might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel your forearms pressed into the mat as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the floor. Might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. One more deep breath in. And on your next inhale, you're going to walk your hands all the way to the left, find that length. Exhale, sinking as far as you can to the floor. As you slowly start to adjust to this stretch, feel free to walk your fingertips just a little bit further. Should be feeling the stretch all the way through that right side, tips of your finger to your hips. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and walk your hands to the right side now, looking for a stretch through your left side body. Again, stretching from your fingertips all the way to your hips as you slowly start to adjust. Feel free to walk your fingertips just a little bit further. Another deep breath in, slowly trying to sink just a little bit further down. Trying to challenge yourself here. Exhale, coming all the way back to center. Go ahead and push yourself up. Shoulders stacked over the heels of your palm, finding that tabletop position. Hips stacked over knees. Curl your toes underneath of you and push all the way up, finding that downward dog. If this is difficult for you, feel free to take those blocks, place them underneath your hands, coming into a modified downward dog. Finding a little bit more help in that height there. Deep breath in, slowly working towards getting both heels on the ground, pedaling out your feet. And when you're ready, you're going to walk your fingers to your feet, finding that forward fold. Feel free to bend the knees here if you need a little extra stretch. Deep breath in. This next movement is going to be a bit more flow focused. What we're going to do is we're going to roll our spine all the way up to standing. Reach through the fingertips, find that length. Send those hips back. Hands reach down to prayer, slowly sinking further to the floor and touch the ground. Feel free to place those blocks in front of you if you need a little bit more height support. We're going to do this a couple more times. Deep breath in, roll that spine all the way up. Reach through the fingertips, find that height. Send those hips back, lower slowly down a chair pose, hands to prayer, and touch the floor. Let's do it again. Roll that spine, feel a bit more of a stretch, challenge yourself, deep breath in, look for that length, send those hips back, hands to prayer, slowly squat down, all the way into a forward fold. Last time, deep breath in, roll that spine all the way up, hands reach, slowly lower down, hinge those hips back, hands to prayer, and touch the floor. Another deep breath in. And when you're ready, we're going to roll all the way back up. This time, we're going to step our feet to the outside of our mat. You might need to go a little bit off of your mat just to get a bit wider of a stance. We're going to bring our hands to prayer. And we're just going to alternate side lunges, going all the way down, trying to keep that knee stacked over that foot, squeezing through the glute and your quad, coming all the way back to center, pushing up on that exhale. Lower down, middle squat, squeeze through the glutes, push up, and lowering to the other side. Really making sure you can feel the muscles engage here. We're going to build off of this. Slow and in control. Making sure we're doing all of this right so we can get to the next step. Squeeze through the glutes. Pushing through the quads. Go ahead and do this one more time on each leg. Now, if this is a challenge for you, feel free to keep doing this. However, if you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free. Lower down, and what you're going to do is you're going to kick off with that opposite leg, lowering back down, middle squat, kick off, and lift that leg. Remembering to breathe. Weight through all four corners of your feet, pushing off through the glutes. And in the quad, you might find that one side has better balance than the other. That's okay. One more time. Coming back to that wide leg squat, send your hands out and behind, interlacing your fingers up through the chest. Deep breath in. Exhale if you would like. Hinging at those hips, coming all the way down to a forward fold. Find your breath. Feel free to add a little movement here. Sway from side to side. Deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and unhook your hands from each other, placing them on the ground, stepping back with both feet, high plank. Elbows tucked tight into your side. We're going to lower our legs down to the ground. Deep breath in, slowly lowering all the way to your stomach. Pushing through the palms and your fingertips, all the way up, lifting. Find that baby cobra. Go ahead and look over each shoulder. Find that depth through your stretch, if that feels comfortable to you. Another deep breath in. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Push through the heels of your palms, finding that tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over your wrists. Curl your toes underneath of you, lifting through your core and your belly button, raising those hips to the ceiling, downward dog. Pedaling at your feet, pushing through your back, trying to keep that weight off of your wrists. Taking another deep breath in. Go ahead and lift that left leg up, pointing your toes to the ceiling, three-legged dog. If you'd like to increase the intensity, go ahead and bend that knee, tilt your hips to the wall to your left. Deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and lower that leg back down. Walk your feet to your hands. Find that forward fold. Go ahead and grab both of your blocks. Bring them in front of you. Placing both of your hands on each one. From here, we're just going to lift our left leg up, squeeze through that glute, and lower. Lift and lower. If you need to, bending that right knee, making sure you're engaging through the glute. For 2 more. Squeeze through that core. Last one. Lifting that leg, keeping it lifted, go ahead and bend your elbows and your knee. Push up. Bend down and push up. For 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and step that back leg all the way down to the ground, lowering down to that knee. Push your blocks flat. We're going to lift up with our right hand now. Fingertips to the ceiling, chest to the wall beside you. Trying to keep that knee stacked over your ankle if you can. Looking for that stretch. Exhale, go ahead and windmill that arm back down. We're just going to straighten that front leg out and rebend. Straighten, rebend. If you're looking for a bit more of a calf stretch, go ahead and tilt those toes all the way up to the ceiling. Just remember to breathe. Go ahead and do this about 2 more times. Last one, go ahead, rebend that knee, keep it bent. We're gonna place a block beside our foot, keeping that knee bent. We're lifting all the way up through our core, like a string is attached to the top of your head. What you're gonna do here, find whatever placement is comfortable for your hands. You're just gonna lift that foot up and onto the block. Find that hip mobility, lift and lower. Deep breath in for 2 more. Last one, lift and lower. Go ahead and curl your left toes underneath you. Grab that block, set it in front of you. We're just gonna lift up and lower. Lift, push through the glute, squeeze through the quad, lower. Finding our balance. Activating our muscles. Remembering to breathe. Inhale, lift for length. Squeeze through all 4 corners of your foot. For 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and place that block back down on the ground, lifting all the way up. Open to your left, warrior 2. Deep breath in, feel that stretch through your inner thigh, push through your quad, knee stacked over ankle. Length through your fingertips. Deep breath in, reaching overhead with that right hand, reverse warrior. Feeling the stretch through your right side. One more deep breath in. Exhale, windmilling your hand overhead, forearm on top of thigh, side angle stretch. Deep breath in. Find that length. Exhale, finish that windmill, palms on the ground. Lower that knee back down to the mat. Low lunge. Deep breath in. From here, you're just going to walk your foot to the outside of the mat. Go ahead and curl onto the outside of your foot. Push that knee to the wall to your right. Deep breath in. Feel free to place a block under your hand if you need more support here. Remembering to breathe. Slowly letting your hips fall further to the floor. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to push those hips back. Place your palms on the ground. Step your foot behind you, tabletop position. Shoulders over heels of palm. Curling your toes underneath of you. Go ahead and send those hips back again, all the way up into that downward facing dog. Pedaling out your feet. And when you're ready, we're kicking that right foot all the way up, toes pointed to ceiling, 3-legged dog. If you'd like to increase the intensity here, go ahead and bend that knee, tilt your hips to the wall to your right. Still remembering to breathe. When you're ready, go ahead and lower that foot. Walk your feet to your hands, finding that forward fold. Again, we're going to grab both of our blocks, place them under our hands, Remembering to breathe. From here, we're just going to lift our right leg up again, squeezing our right glute. Try not to shift our hips. We only want to activate the glute here. It might help to bend your left knee, trying to keep those hip bones parallel to the floor beneath you. Still breathing. For 2 more. Squeeze that glute. Last one, keeping that legs lifted. We're going to bend our knees and our elbows and push up. Still keep that leg lifted. Trying to keep the leg as straight as you can. For 2 more. Last one, go ahead and lower that foot all the way down to the ground. Slowly lower onto that knee, finding a low lunge. We're just going to go through that flow of straightening that front leg and rebending. If you're looking for more of a calf stretch here, feel free to bring those toes all the way up to the ceiling, making sure you feel that stretch, trying to sink your hips deeper to the floor every time. Paying attention to see if one side has more flexibility than the other. Go ahead and do 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and rebend that knee. Bring that block to the outside of your foot. Lift up, squeeze through the core, straight line through the top of your head. Wherever your hands feel comfortable, we're just going to lift that front leg up and onto the block and lower back down. Lift up, find that hip mobility using your hip flexors. This is difficult for you, that's okay. Most people are extremely weak throughout their hips. Deep breath for 2 more. Find your rhythm. 1 more. Go ahead and lower that foot down to the ground. Grab onto that block. Curl your right toes underneath of you. We're going to lift up and lower. Lift up, squeeze, push through that glute using your quad and lower. Lifting through your back using this compound movement, paying attention to all of your muscles here. Knee stacked over ankle. For 2 more. Last one, I'm going to lower down. Drop that block to the ground, coming all the way back up, opening to the wall to your right. Warrior 2. Remembering to breathe. Length through your fingertips, opening through your hips, knee stacked over ankle. On your next exhale, we're going to reach that left arm up overhead, reverse warrior. Feel the stretch through your left side body. Reaching through your fingertips. Sinking your hips further on that exhale. Another deep breath in. Windmilling our hands all the way over, right hand overhead, left forearm on top of that thigh, side angle stretch. Taking another deep breath in. Reach through those fingertips. Exhale, windmilling all the way back down to the ground, palms to the floor, knee bending slowly down. Go ahead and walk your foot to the outside of the mat. Roll on to the outside of your foot, pushing the knee outward, slowly letting your hips sink further to the ground. Remembering to breathe. Looking for that depth, feel the stretch. Trying to challenge yourself here. Another deep breath in. Exhale. When you're ready, we're going to re-bend that leg. Go ahead and roll on to your glutes, that seated position. From here, you're just going to bring one forearm behind you, slowly lower down onto your back. Shift onto the side of your glutes. And when you're ready, go ahead and lift your right arm above your head, lifting your toes up, reach, and lower. Squeeze through your core here. Deep breaths in. Lift through that leg. Remembering to breathe. Find that length. Lift through the inner thigh. Two more. Last one. Go ahead and roll all the way down onto your back now. Still taking that left leg, bending the right leg. We're just going to circle. Lifting through the muscles in our thigh, not through your hip. Squeeze through your core. Trying to make sure there's no space between your lower back and the mat. Slow and in control. Should feel a little bit of a burn in your inner thigh. Two more. Last one. Circling all the way. Go ahead and re-bend your left leg. We're just going to tap down. Single leg taps till we're even with that right leg, lifting that foot up. If you'd like to increase the intensity here, go ahead and lift yourself up, palms facing the ceiling. Squeeze the core. One more deep breath in. Go ahead and go into double taps, meaning both of our feet are going to lower at the same time now. Squeeze through the core. Feel that little burn, generating that heat. For two more. Last one. Go ahead and place both feet on the ground. You're going to shimmy over to the right side of your glute now, up onto that forearm. Keep that left knee bent. Reach that left arm overhead. We're going to tap the toe. Squeeze through the core, lift through the inner thigh. Lift through the obliques. Remembering to breathe. Slow and in control.
2 more. Last one. Lowering that leg all the way back down, coming back onto our backs. Keep that left knee bent. We're in a circle, our right leg. Slow and in control. Big circle. Make sure you feel that muscle the whole time. Prioritizing the quality over the quantity. For 2 more, still engaging the core, leaving no space between your lower back and the mat. Last one, go ahead and re-bend the right leg, bringing both legs up, finding that reverse tabletop position. Single tap down with that right foot. If you'd like to challenge yourself, go ahead and tilt palms to ceiling. Lift yourself up like a boat pose and just tap. Remembering to breathe. Still engaging through the core. For 2 more. Last one. Straight into those double taps, both feet gently tapping the floor, coming all the way back up. Squeezing the core. For 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and set the feet all the way on the floor. Give yourself a break. Tilt the knees side to side. Give them a hug if you need to. Whatever feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, we're going to lower both feet back down onto the ground. Lowering our lower back so there's no space between it and the mat. Lifting up through the core, palms to ceiling. We're just going to alternate ankle taps here. You should feel this in your obliques, the side of your abdominals. Might be a little bit of shaking through your core. That's okay. Remembering to breathe. For 2 more. Last one. Lowering all the way back down to the mat. Go ahead and shift your pelvic floor up and in, pushing through the heels of our feet, squeezing our glutes. Go ahead and lift your pelvis all the way up into that glute bridge. Feel a stretch through your core here. Feel free to interlace your hands behind you if that feels comfortable, coming all the way up onto your shoulders. Squeezing through the glutes, pushing your hips high into the air. Holding here for one more deep breath in. And exhale, lowering all the way down. When you're ready, go ahead and kick your right foot up and over top of your left leg, making sure the outside of your ankle is on top of that knee. If this is comfortable for you, feel free to stay here, but if you'd like, go ahead and grab on to that left hamstring or left shin, gently pulling the leg closer to you, feeling a deeper stretch through that left leg. Option to rock side to side if that feels comfortable. When you're ready, go ahead and send both hands to either side of your body, gently letting your hips fall to the left, planting the sole of your right foot on the ground. Feeling the stretch in your back, making sure both shoulders are still planted on the floor. Still paying attention to your breathing. One more deep breath in, coming all the way back up to center. Go ahead and unhook your right leg from your left. Lift your left, hook it over your right. Feel free to stay here if that feels comfortable to you, or grab onto that right leg, gently pulling it closer to you. Option to rock side to side if that feels comfortable. When you're ready, go ahead and send either hand to either side of your body, gently letting your hips fall to the right, planting the sole of your left foot onto the floor. Feeling the stretch through your hips and in your lower back, still trying to keep both shoulders planted on the ground. When you're ready, coming all the way back up to center, unhook your left leg from your right, bringing the soles of your feet together, letting your knees drop to either side of your body, feeling that stretch through your hips, allowing them to open. One hand over your heart, the other over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to bring awareness to all four corners of our body. Might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling the tap of your fingers on your chest and your stomach, the back of your head pressed into the mat, the rise and fall of your chest. Bring awareness to your breath. You might try box breathing here. In for 4. Hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the mat. Using this time to set your intentions for the day, letting go of any stress or tension built up throughout the day, allowing yourself to completely clear your mind. That's going to bring us to the end of today's class. Feel free to stay and stretch.
Thank you all so much for joining me again for another session of Yoga Pilates Fusion. This will be the last class of this session. We will be starting up again on the 22nd. Don't forget to 23rd. 22nd is Monday. 23rd is Tuesday. Thank you. Don't forget to sign up on our website. All of you live streaming, you should be able to find it on the SEO Wellbeing Center page. Other than that, thank you all so much for coming, and I can't wait to see you next session.